Devia Vine has rented this little unassuming North York bungalow for 10 years. She discovered just a few days ago that her elderly landlord, who lives a couple of kilometers from here, died. Now she feels like she's in a state of limbo, unable to get any information. She says she called the police, the coroner's office, the ombudsman, the landlord and tenant board. She says she hasn't been able to get any answers, not only about how to pay her rent, but about what happened to a man she called her friend.
At this point, you have heard from no one?
Nothing. All the calls are going out from me. Nobody has called me at all back. I have no reports from the coroner. I mean, obviously, I'm not family. I'm just a tenant. So they don't understand why you would be asking, and your rent isn't even due yet, right? So when I tell them that my rent's due on the 15th, and, well, it's not the 15th, so why do you care? I don't know why he died, when he died, how he died.
When Devia Vine went over to her landlord's house to pay her rent 10 days early, as she has done every month for 10 years, she was stunned to see this police seal on the door and pamphlets advertising crime scene and biohazard cleanups. Eventually, she learned that her 83-year-old landlord had died, likely of a heart attack. After her shock wore off, her thoughts turned to her rent. Who should she pay?
I don't know who I'm supposed to pay. Nobody can tell me who I'm supposed to pay. I'm not getting any indication when I might expect to be hearing from them.
Devia says her landlord told her that he has a will and owns numerous properties. She's anxious that the rents get into the right hands because her landlord has a disabled son who's institutionalized. She figures he will need the money. She also fears that if she doesn't pay, she may get evicted. Estate lawyer Barry Corbin says that risk is likely low, but he has a better solution. She doesn't have to know who the executor is.
Knowing the person's died, you'd write your rent checks out to the estate of the landlord. It really isn't your issue as long as you've got money in the account.
Devia is emotional about this situation for another reason. She wants to know what happened to her landlord and where his body is now, and what funeral arrangements are being made so that she can pay her respects.
He wasn't just my landlord. I mean, he was my buddy. I would like to go to attend the viewing. I would like to see his son and say, you know, I'm really sorry for your loss.
Now, I did speak to the coroner's office this afternoon, and while they will not give out details of the circumstances of someone's death unless you're a close family member, they could confirm that his body is still there in the morgue and could be released to a family member at any time. So at least Devia has not missed the funeral. This story came to us from a viewer tip. If you have a concern you'd like us to look into, here are all the ways to reach us.